The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros, the comments made by Malik Scott. Now I'll pull up the article. Malik Scott was given an interview to, I believe, the PBC podcast. And in that interview, he spoke about the rumors that Tyson Fury was getting beat up in sparring. This article is from Boxing Scene, and here's what it says. Scott, however, does not feel that the sparring rumors are that surprising or something to gloat about, considering the quality of sparring partners that Fury had brought in, many of them young and undefeated. To his credit, this is a quote from Scott. To his credit, I'm not even big on that, Scott said. He had Jared Anderson in camp with him. He had F.A. Rice Cake Ajapa in camp with him. He had Christian Thun in camp with him. When I see all those guys he was in camp with, I know for sure he was getting touched up. I would hope that's why he was bringing them in, so that he can fight them off and not get touched up, because that's what you do when you're trying to prepare for the likes of Deontay Wilder. So it's not shocking. Is it bragging rights to me or anything like that? Not really. Lots of guys get touched up in sparring. That's nothing. However, Scott believes, if nothing else, Fury was discouraged by his recent sparring experiences, and that had played a part in causing the fight with Wilder to be postponed. And here's the quote from Malik Scott. But the thing is, when you get discouraged from that, when that can lead you to canceling the fight, when that can lead you to having demonic nightmares of you fighting Wilder after getting touched up by guys you were sparring, to me, that's when the problem is, Scott said. The problem is getting discouraged by the bad days in the gym and wanting to quote unquote postpone the fight and cancel the fight. So, hold on. I think this is read this right here too. Scott still maintains that getting touched up in sparring is part of the parcel of the boxing trade. Listen, bruh, I've been in this ish since I was 12 years old. Mike Tyson has been knocked down in sparring. Lennox Lewis has been hurt in sparring. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. It comes with what we do. Fury brought a bunch of undefeated guys in his camp. You know, guys probably got the best of him. I heard that Jared Anderson had him out on his feet. I heard one guy knocked him down. That's what Malik Scott had to say. I'm going to turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What's your reaction to what Malik Scott had to say in the rumors that Tyson Fury was getting touched up in sparring?
I'm not mad at anything that Malik Scott had to say. Well, except for the demonic spirits or whatever he was saying, nightmares, like in Deontay Wilder.
I was like, Trill, I was about to say, like, demonic spirits, man.
Except for that part, but yeah, that's what happens in sparring. Sparring is sparring. Y'all know how us boxing bros, how we feel about sparring. We think that's corny. We don't even like people bringing it up, unless somebody was doing something foul in sparring or something, But sparring is sparring. You're supposed to be in there learning some things and stuff. So I totally agree with Malik on that part. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge him on what goes on in sparring. We done heard about the greats being knocked down, knocked out, and hurt, getting black eyes in sparring. So I don't hold no weight on that. Also, I'm with you on that, Malik Scott.
All right. Conspiracy.
Yeah, I agree with Trill on this one, and Malik, salute to you because you presented it in a way that wasn't necessarily like damning on Fury's character. He was more, it seemed like from what you read, it seemed more understanding. Like, yo, this happens. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He got F.A. in there. F.A. is a power hitter. He punches hard. He got Anderson. This kid is technically sound and he's fast. And he also had Joseph Parker in there, who's both power and speed. So it's like he had an elite training camp. Yeah, you're bound to get hurt, Now, Malik doesn't know for a fact that this dude got knocked out in sparring, unless Malik got some moles, some spies. Knocked down, my bad, excuse me. Knocked down in sparring. Unless he got, people in Fury's camp that's reporting to him, which is possible, like, who knows? It could be possible. Like, I'm pretty sure Malik Scott has a lot of friends in different camps and things of that nature. He's probably worked with a lot of those guys like FA and Anderson in the past, so it's possible. But I do commend him for not using that as an opportunity to clown Fury, minus the demonic talk. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say this: I was rocking with him until he got to that point. Like, but he could be telling. Like, I'm not saying he's telling the truth, but if in fact these things did happen, the possibility of Fury coming up with an excuse to either cancel the fight or postpone the fight seems logical. Like, he got hurt, he needs time to recover. Hey, let's just say, yo, we got, you know what I mean? And voila, we extend it. He has more time to train, more time to heal the body, heal the mind. We don't know if he was been concussed, so like, I'm saying salute to Malik Scott, and Malik Scott represented Tyson Fury on why Tyson Fury may need more time. So salute to Malik for that one.
Salute to Malik. That's interesting. Bruh, stop it. Here's a fact. Tyson Fury bust both your eardrums in sparring, Malik. Fact. I don't need to assume that's no rumor because you verified it, and so I know because you admit that he did it. You admitted that he did it in the past in prior interviews, and you admitted that he did it at the press conference. Fact, I know he beat Deontay Wilder's ass because I watched it. And I know that he beat Deontay Wilder so badly that Mark Brillin threw in the towel. Cost him his relationship with Deontay Wilder and cost him his job. Fact. Don't need to speculate on that. I know it because I watched it. Now, all these rumors about what happened in Tyson Fury's camp, I don't give a damn about them. One, I don't know if they're true. Do I personally believe them? No, I don't. I don't believe Jared Big Baby Anderson was touching up Tyson Fury. I think we would like to believe that as Americans. When I say we, I'm not really including myself. I'm saying we as the Americans would like to believe that Jared Big Baby Anderson, oh, we got next, and he was touching up Fury. Don't believe it. F.A. Ajapa, stop it. I remember Eminem had a diss, and then he goes like, Eminem, please. And then he gives you this look he's responding. Eminem's like, Eminem, please. F.A., please. Stop it. Stop with the jokes, man. For real. F.A. was touching up Fury. Stop with the jokes. Okay, so now this other guy, I don't believe it. So I'm not going to salute Malik. If sparring means nothing, and if you acknowledge that he brought in elite fighters to his camp, why mention it? Why mention it? Why mention it and then say, oh, well, it's no big deal? Even if you want to believe that Tyson Fury was getting touched, if you know how sparring works, F.A. and Jared Big Baby Anderson didn't go there to spar each other. They went there to spar Fury. That means Fury did X amount of numbers with Jared Big Baby Anderson. Then after that, a fresh F.A. came in the ring. He did X amount of rounds with F.A. And maybe after that, he said, well, Big Baby Anderson want to go again? Okay, did X amount of rounds. And while Fury's been working continuously, they weren't. See why sparring isn't really that big of a deal? If you've never really been inside a gym, then you don't know. They named another guy, so it seems like it was a three-man rotation. So Fury got one guy for 4 rounds. Then Fury got a new fresh guy for 4 rounds. Fury got a fresh guy going into his 5th round. That guy's 1st round. Then after 8 rounds, Fury's going into his 9th round. Here comes this fresh guy going into his 1st round. And idiots get excited like he was getting touched up. He was getting touched up. You know nothing about it. That's why you would sit there and brag about it. If you told me that Jared Big Baby Anderson, go ahead, G, what's up?
I'm just saying, it sounds like you're contradicting yourself because you started off by saying you don't believe this at all, but now you're making a case that it's possible that Tyson Fury could get injured.
I believe I use the word even if. Even if you believe. So right. I don't believe that it happened. But even if you believe that it happened, I'm breaking down how they actually do it. So
but I guess my question is, then where do you not believe in what Malik Scott is saying, because you're presenting a possibility that most likely will happen, right? Where you're doing so many rounds with so many guys that
you're most likely gonna get touched up. No, that's what I was thinking. They were saying when they said that three guy, I was thinking that's the 3-man rotation right there.
That's what I'm saying. So Malik, what Malik's saying, is in support of what you're saying. So
no, it's not.
You'll be telling the truth.
No, now, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I'm mishearing it.
It's fine. Like, that's why I tell you to follow the bounce ball. I know, like, it's intriguing. You want to jump in, and you jump in. I don't mind. But again, what I'm saying is I don't believe it. I don't believe that Fury getting touched up. Everyone's going to get touched in sparring. Like, if you don't get touched in sparring, God bless you, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't – it's not even beneficial not to get touched in sparring because, like, I don't know, like, if you've ever competed, once you, like, out of a boxing camp and, like, your first week back, you need to get hit in the jaw a few times so that you can get, like, that feeling, man, because, like,
getting hit.
Yeah, like,
it feels.
Like, the first week, it's hard to, like, eat everything. Like, it's just like you feel like some soreness. So if you don't get touched at all in sparring and the first time you get clipped is in that ring, you're probably gonna get knocked out. Like, so look, anyways, all I'm saying is not that I don't believe that they landed some good punches on Fury, but that he was out on his feet with, I don't believe he was out on his feet with Jared Big Baby Anderson. No, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. That he got knocked down, I don't believe that either. I don't believe that so those are two things that I'm gonna need a little bit more evidence on. Me bringing up the rotation is to suggest that if you're Tyson Fury, you know that going in because you understand boxing. You know that hypothetically, let's say he started out his first 4 rounds with FA. You know that once Big Baby Anderson comes in the ring, you're on your 5th round, Big Baby Anderson's on the 6th round. In fact, you're doing that intentionally to build the endurance and to force yourself. You actually want Big Baby Anderson to push you. That's the whole point. And putting them in when you put them in. Go ahead, Dollar Bill.
And I just wanted to add to what you're saying. And then when you're putting these different guys in, you're probably working on certain things at that time. You might just be working on jabs at that time or hooks or working on head movement or defense or certain things at that time, just to piggyback off of what you were saying.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying to you is there's no way, even if you claim Fury looked bad in those sessions, that Fury doesn't know that he was fighting these guys while they were fresh and he wasn't. Go ahead, G.
All right. I hear what you're saying. But remember, Tyson Fury is the same guy that said when Anthony Joshua was an amateur, he had Anthony Joshua in the camp and Anthony Joshua rocked him. So it's possible, you know, and Tyson
rocked him? I didn't hear him say Anthony Joshua rocked him.
He said
that he beat him up. He didn't say he rocked him.
Oh, okay. All right.
Rocked him means like he won.
Again, I could have sworn he said rocked him, but let's just say he beat him up. That's cool.
I thought he said he put it on him. Like the young lad put it on me. Like he's a good fighter. I did it.
What we're gonna do? The UK fans, y'all should comment because sometimes the slang is different. So I took it as he got worked on, like he got beat by AJ. But hey, maybe
he got beat up by AJ. Yes, but when you say rocked. Like when I say someone got rocked, I mean like the person is stunned on the verge of being knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's what you just presented. That Joshua rocked Fury.
I'm trying to build an argument, so just walk with me real quick.
Okay.
FA, remember when they interviewed FA, right? And he was praising this dude Anderson, like he's like, oh, he's fast, he has a great jab, he's taught me so much. You know what I mean? And like when I heard that, I was like, damn, like is this dude Anderson really that much of a beast? You know what I mean? So if FA is singing his praises, they in the training camp together, you know, maybe it could be true. That's what I'm saying. And the fact that Fury has talked about how AJ, when AJ was green, was giving him that work. Yo, Anderson is like, he has great skill. He just lacks the experience. So why couldn't Anderson do the same thing that AJ did to Tyson Fury?
Because he's not AJ. Anthony Joshua, as an amateur, was winning a gold medal. Can you tell me Jared Big Baby Anderson's amateur pedigree?
No, I cannot.
Anthony Joshua, in his 15th professional fight, was winning a world title. In his 17th professional fight, he was dethroning of Vladimir Klitschko. Well, Vladimir Klitschko had previously been dethroned by Tyson Fury, but still that's an impressive victory. He was beating the reigning guy. So how are you going to act like Jared Big Baby Anderson has accomplished anything remotely close to Anthony Joshua up to this point? So let me give you some former heavyweight champions that were Olympic gold medalists: Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, and Anthony Joshua. So for you to sit here and just act like because you like the way Big Baby Anderson looks when he's playing with his food, the guys who they served up to him, so thus far, to act like because Joshua whooped on Tyson Fury, that Big Baby Anderson could have possibly done it is flawed logic. I mean, anything's possible at the end of the day, but to be like, well, AJ did it and Big Baby Anderson is no Anthony Joshua.
Nah, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm not comparing Anderson to AJ. I'm combating your statement that you don't believe Tyson Fury got hurt during sparring. And I'm saying he's been hurt in sparring before, and he literally talked about it when he was talking about AJ back when AJ was an amateur. That's why I'm saying there's a possibility that Anderson could do the same thing. Anderson's now a professional. That was AJ when he was an amateur.
2 points. One, it's not a statement. It's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I said I don't believe. And I acknowledge that anything's possible. I have acknowledged that in the last segment. You said it's possible Big Baby Anderson could have heard of. It's possible I'm going to find $1 million when I leave this room.
All right, so then
it's like if was a fifth, bro, and anything is possible. At the end of the day, I personally do not believe that Tyson Fury was out on his feet, and I don't believe that he got knocked down. That I personally don't believe that. I'm not saying he didn't get hit. I'm not saying Big Baby Anderson didn't do well. I'm not saying Big Baby Anderson didn't give him good work. None of that is being disputed by me. In fact, that was the purpose of me pointing out how they do the sparring with someone like Tyson Fury. He alone is sparring multiple guys while they're alternating and they're fresh and he's not. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So you can't go off of the fact that, oh, they're touching him up, because it would be a completely different ball game when you both start at round 1, round 2 together. That's why you see sometimes guys when they shine against someone in sparring and people be like, oh, he beat him in sparring. And then when they're in an actual fight, the A side washes them. So all I'm saying to you is
I'm saying I agree with everything that you said, right? However, nothing that you're saying right now even closely contradicts Malik Scott's statement. You know what I mean? Like, to me, what you're saying is you're justifying Malik Scott's statement, you know, because you're literally making a plausible argument on why Malik Scott is telling the truth about.
No,
I'm not justifying nothing. See, this is what I'm getting. Go ahead, Troll. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I was saying I totally agree with Malik Scott, whereas you can't judge sparring. When Malik Scott said that, like, you can't judge sparring. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever happens in sparring, it happens in sparring. The greats go do things in sparring. You know what I'm saying? And exactly what you were saying also, Caden. When these guys come in, like when he said that those 3 guys, I immediately thought these are the guys that he's in rotation with. So these things is going to happen, especially when you're in the ring with these guys and you might be doing the 14 rounds. Some of these guys do. Sometimes these guys do more rounds than 16 rounds or sometimes. Mm-hmm. So you're bound to get hit, especially if you're working on certain things and you're like, oh, you're not just going to work on him. You're bound to get hit. You're bound to get touched. So that's where I agree with Malik Scott, that we shouldn't put so much effort or so much stock into what happens in sparring.
Yes, and that's where I agree with Malik Scott. Now, G, I'm not justifying it. I disagree with Malik.
Now saying that he got rocked.
Yeah,
totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to make it seem like the purpose of this whole fight being postponed is because of his performance in sparring. That's where I disagree with him. So don't sit there and try to make it seem like I'm justifying it. Look, sparring is sparring, bro. At the end of the day, what I'm saying is, to me, I don't believe that. Here's 2 main reasons why I don't believe that Fury got rocked by Big Baby Anderson in sparring or dropped in sparring. Because the fight was postponed from July to October. you by your own, you even admitted that you believe the fight was postponed because of poor ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if anyone's contradicting himself, it's you. Because either the fight was postponed because of poor ticket sales or because Fury was getting rocked in sparring.
Nah,
now, if the fight, hold up, bro, I let you rock uninterrupted. So I am demanding the same thing. Now, you said that the fight was postponed because of poor ticket sales. Now, if the fight was postponed because of poor ticket sales, that wouldn't be contingent upon Fury sparring. That wouldn't be relative or related to what Fury's doing in sparring. That means the fight was going to be postponed whether or not Fury was shining in sparring. So now you sit here and add on another thing like, oh, well, he was getting beaten sparring. There can be one sole purpose as to why this fight was postponed. It was either postponed because of poor ticket sales or it was postponed because Fury was getting touched up in sparring and he needed more time. So you tell me which one it was, Mr. Conspiracy.
I could just respond. Well, remember, what I said was I agreed with Malik Scott until he brought the point of the demonic spirits and all that other stuff where Tyson Fury is now scared. I agreed with him up until that point, which I've already stated. And up until that point, he made good points. So it's like, yo, it is sparring, bro. It happens in sparring. I like to believe that level, that quality of sparring partners could touch up Tyson Fury. That's why I was like, yo, salute to Malik Scott for not trying to embarrass Tyson Fury about it. He was like, hey, yo, this happens, bro. Like, this is professional elite level boxing. That's where I was like, yo, that's why I said salute to Malik, because he could have used that as an opportunity to be like, yo, he's damaged goods. We're going to run.
How? It's not an actual fact. See, this is what I'm talking about. You're saluting Malik for something that's speculation. How can you salute him for not hopping on speculation? Here's why I could salute Malik. No, because you're going like if we actually knew that Big Baby Anderson had Fury out on his feet, and we actually knew that Fury got dropped in sparring. If it was 100% fact, like we know Fury busted both his eardrums, if it was that type of fact, and Malik took the high road, then I can salute him. I can't salute Malik for not speaking on propaganda as if it was fact, for speaking on innuendo as if it was fact, for speaking on speculation as if it was fact. I can't salute him for just saying, well, I heard the rumors, but I'm not going to hop on those rumors. And you shouldn't. So go ahead.
So you're doing an interview, and the interviewer asks you, hey, you heard about the rumors of Tyson Fury and sparring, blah, 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 blah. And then you could go two ways, or maybe you could like no comment. Maybe you could do a third option, right? But it's either you could explain it and justify it like a reasonable person who's been in several sparring different training camps and things of that nature, or you can use this as an opportunity to throw dirt on your opponent's name, right? Or the opposition, because that's not his opponent, but that's his fighter's opponent, right? He went the more logical, reasonable route, where he's like, hey, if this happened, allegedly, I don't know, right? He's talking like it did happen. I don't know who Malik Scott knows in that training camp. I don't know. But instead of him bashing Fury, he made an argument like, hey, yo, this is sparring. It happens, blah, blah. Don't take too much stock into it. Yo, that's not hate, bro. That's why I'm like, yo, salute to.
That's not hate. You just admitted that he's acting like it happened. So that sounds like hate to me. That sounds like hate to me. If he would have said that this is a rumor, I can't really give you an opinion about a rumor. Now, if this was fact, then I can speak on it, but I'm not going to speak on rumors. I would be like, salute Malik, you the god, like you're doing. He actually did a backhanded thing.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Beat up, but that happens. Get out of here, man.
I would say that I do. It's like it's a two-way thing right here. What Malik did, when you really think about it, it was like totally agree with him when he was talking about sparring. Of course, we all three of us agree with him when he talked about sparring. Then he did a little twist when he started to say, when he had to put a little dig in there with the, going on with the, this might sink into his head, and this causes the doubts, you know what I'm saying? That's when he, did a little curve in it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact where he was talking about, hey, you can't the sparring, we all know that you can't judge a fight from sparring. But the fact where he put in his own little knife,
that's when me and Malik parted ways. I'm like, all right, but everything
same
before
thing though. It's the same. It's the same interview, G. It's the same interview.
The stuff that Bob Arum says, I'm like, I agree with that one segment. Everything else, yes, you know what I'm saying. So it's like you could, what is it? Eat the meat, spit out the bones. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do that.
That's how I feel.
You spit out the bones, man. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is this: true, and you can take us home. Beat him then. I don't want to hear all this. I don't want to hear that the bag lady beat him. I don't want to hear that this person dropped him in sparring. I want to see Wilder beat him. That's the only thing that's going to matter. None of that matters. Wilder beat Fury. Until then, all this stuff is whatever.
Yeah, this was good. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like.